Hello students, I'm here to just do a little walkthrough of the course so that you are all familiar with the way that I set my courses up. You know that this is an individualized um, class where there are 3 of you who are participating in this class. So the 3 of you are Susanna, Rain, and Cassidy. So tried my best to set this up so that it really feels like a full class that you're having. So we're going to use D2L for the class in an asynchronous format. And there's my information and some information about navigating the course. It's set up in 5 modules. Um, Brief PowerPoints, 10 minutes or less in most cases, and drop boxes. So it's just like a typical online class that you've been taking. The course resources contain the syllabus, the rubrics for the different assignments that you're going to need to do in the class. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I know Susanna and Cassidy that you both are pursuing the autism endorsement. I'm going to assume that you are as well, Rain, because that is why they gave permission for us to go ahead and offer this class. So I don't have an alternative assignment in here for you all. You all need to do that field experience. So if I'm mistaken and one of you are not doing the endorsement certificate, then I can go ahead and give you the alternative assignment. So the course syllabus is here. In the beginning is just the syllabus and looking over what you need to do in the class, and then posting an introductory message in the discussion forum. And then each week is set up in modules. There's an overview of the module. There's the content, the PowerPoint, which is narrated, and any other links or tools that I want you to have. I usually try to give you the PowerPoint slides along with the narrated PowerPoint. Any links that I want you to look at and read, and then of course, whatever assignments I have or discussions that I have. So each of the weeks or modules are set up that way. So you can see that this is not a really fast-paced course. Many of you are out working and doing things, so I'm trying to be mindful of that. So module 1 is week 2, January 24th through 30th. This first week is simply the introduction and the syllabus. And then in module 3, you're going to be doing weeks 5 through 7. So there's an overview, and then there are the PowerPoints for each of the weeks. So that's week 5. And then weeks 6 and 7 I have together within this module so that you can just concentrate on one for the first part of the module, and then the other 2 weeks you will have for the remaining part of that module. So in module 2, like I said, you will have it broken up for you. Okay, so module 2 is on psychometrics. There are PowerPoints in here. There's resource materials. There's the instrument review assignments in here. And I'm getting used to looking at this because I'm looking at it in a student view. The discussion and then the assessment that you have to do, which is for this week is copies of your clearances. Get those in and your site permission form for where you're going to do your observations. If you are working in a school, of course, you can do it within the school in which you're working. Okay. So here, I'm sorry, that was week 5. Module 3 is week 5, and week 6 and 7. So it's pretty much set up the same way: PowerPoint slides, discussions, assessments, assignments. So you can find everything the way that I have them set aside. So let's go back and take a look very quickly at the syllabus, which should appear in the course resources. I'm going to download it so it's easier to see that way. Okay, so in here, let's just kind of take a look at what we've got. Of course, all the objectives and so on. There are special resource requirements, or just internet access, and then making sure that you get the clearances into me as well. The library. So the course assignments, of course, are reading your text. The diagnostic assessment review, which is worth 50 points. So you're going to examine and evaluate an assessment instrument, um, including the comprehensive autism assessment planning tool. You'll be assigned to two of the current evaluations being used and research the following information. So it gives you a list of what that is. The data collection form that you're going to be using while you're doing your field experience. A curriculum matrix. I'm going to put the three of you together to work on that matrix. So the three of you will work to develop a curriculum matrix for a student with an autism spectrum disorder. And the field experience is your classroom observation. Remember, for this course, it's 30 hours of observation. You're going to locate your own field experience. Most likely, it's going to be in the school district where you are. You're going to get permission, even though it isn't a district where you are. And then you're going to practice using observational data collection tools, and then complete a reflection paper and an annotated log. And then there will be forum discussions. So the diagnostic assessment review, the curriculum matrix, which is a group, data collection forum, classroom observation, field experience, and your forum participation. So that is basically what it looks like. Here is the course sequence, what you will do during each of the modules and what weeks they are, where you're required to do things. Okay, so that is basically what it is. So let's go back and let me see if I have in the resources. So here's the diagnostic assessment review rubric. So you're going to examine and evaluate two tools. So each of you will do two tools and give me the following information that I have listed there. You can present this however you want to, in a chart, a grid, a graphic organizer, however you think you want to do that. But this is what you need to have included in that. The data collection form rubric is for what you're going to be using as you're observing the student's behavior, academic, whatever, social, a well-rounded look at the child. So once you're doing that and you kind of observe this child, you're going to identify a targeted skill and give a rationale for why you want to target that particular skill. And then develop a data collection form to watch that child with that skill that you're asking them to do. Okay, so that's what that is. The curriculum matrix rubric is you're going to work in your small group. You're going to develop a curriculum matrix for the student with autism spectrum. And these are the things that need to be in that curriculum matrix. So you're going to set it up with each domain contains two specific objectives that accurately match the domain. In a Word document, respond to the following requirements and then submit that into a Dropbox. Okay. So the three of you will work together on that. There is a reflective paper for the field experience. And what needs to be within that field experience. So you're going to describe the behaviors based on the initial observations made. Choose at least 2 different methods of recording observations in the classroom and use these methods on multiple occasions. Once the 30 hours of observation have been completed, you'll write a reflective paper that includes the following requirements, and then that gets submitted. So describe the environment, share your initial impression of the environment and the behavior observed, describe methods you observed that were clearly designed to meet the unique needs of a student with autism, describe the rationale used to choose the observational tools that you've chosen, describe the behaviors observed for recording, discuss your experience with each of the 2 instruments chosen for your practice, and include your opinion of the usefulness and practicality. Include a copy of each observational record used in the classroom, and describe any insights gained from exposure to students on the autism spectrum in the educational setting. So the purpose of this is really to be using the different assessment tools that you'll have. Let me see if I can find that. So here is some information on assessment tools. So there's the behavior checklist, the diagnostic interview, revised, autism spectrum screening questionnaire, childhood Asperger's. So even though you're not going to diagnose students, it's really beneficial for you to become familiar with these. The use of the Diagnostic Observation Schedule, the ADOS, is probably the gold standard of what people use. So just getting to know these is really important. This is the DSMV link for you. In week 2, again, I give you some information on the diagnostic assessment review. So after you review those, the information and review the instruments, choose from the instruments below to complete that review. In order for the assignment to meet the objective of this course, you should choose either an instrument designed specifically for assessment of students with autism, or an instrument that taps into that domain that is impacted by autism, so communication, social, behavioral. If you choose an instrument related to a specific domain, sort of a measure of sensory processing, you should relate that instrument's usefulness to the behaviors that are related to autism. Do not use instruments covered in detail in the course for this assignment. You may choose to review the Comprehensive Autism Assessment Planning Tool, the Autism Screening Instrument for Educational Planning, or one of the instruments found in your book, page 53 to page 57 or 67. If you choose to review an instrument that is not listed here, then you need to let me know what that is, and I can give you feedback as to whether that's a good one to go ahead and use. Okay, so here are some links for autism assessments and just really helpful links for the content. Places where you can find some of these. So like here's the autism rating scales. So I've given you links where you're able to sort of tap into some of these. Some of them give you a much more detailed review of these. So you can look at the kits, the forms and the reports. So this is just another place where you can gather some of the information that you might need. So that is what is in our course. I have to remember where I put things. I'm trying to look for your curriculum matrix. Okay, so in module 4 is the curriculum matrix and case study. So I actually give you a case study. So this is the student's information that you need to do. and the domains, and you will use this information to create that matrix. Um, so you're going to use the information provided to develop appropriate objectives, design related teaching activities, and list the materials needed, and any environmental needs that would require attention in order for them to succeed. So divide the work equally. Each group can design the activities around the content area, situation, or choice of multiple content areas. You can choose a variety of formatting styles for this assignment. It's labeled a matrix. You don't have to structure the information in a chart form as long as each item is listed on the rubric and that I see that you have done that. There is a discussion forum for you if you want to use that, but most of you will probably use Google Docs. All right, so that is the student's information that you have. And that should, get you started and get you going through the course. And I'm sure there will be questions. Feel free to reach out to me if you do have any questions regarding the course. So it's not real fast paced, but there is some work that needs to be done. So communicate with each other so that you can stay on top of things.